Hey everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving into a real AI earthquake.
Oh yeah, this is a big one.
It all went down January 20th, 2025.
Mark it on your calendars, folks.
DeepSeek out of nowhere, this Chinese company,
Nobody even knew.
exactly, just dropped a bomb on the whole tech world.
Yeah, they didn't just launch like another AI
It
assistant.
went full open source.
Free for everyone. Download it, use it, go nuts.
Especially wild when you think about how Google and OpenAI,
All the big guys,
they
right?
keep their AI locked up tight.
Top secret.
So DeepSeek is like, hey.
Here's the secret sauce. Catch up.
And the crazy thing is this, David.
Taking on the Goliaths.
Already beating some of those big names.
In performance, too.
Get this.
They did it on a budget like
$6 million.
peanuts. Compared to the billions.
Google and them are throwing around.
It's almost unbelievable.
Well, how'd they pull it off? Like, seriously, what's the secret sauce?
Well, a lot of folks are saying it's a mix of
Smart moves.
super smart and just a really tight team.
Lean and mean.
Exactly. Now, their founder, Liang Wufeng.
Interesting guy, right?
Oh yeah, he's not your typical tech CEO.
Came from finance land, right?
Yeah, made a killing on the stock market.
Built this $8 billion hedge fund.
Run entirely by AI. Then said, see you later, Wall Street. I'm going to solve the world's problems with AI.
What a story.
And he's got an eye for the future.
Like that whole Nvidia chip thing.
Oh yeah, before the US ban, he stockpiled tens of thousands of those chips.
Coming.
Knew they'd need that processing power.
Smart move, because then they could build their own infrastructure.
Didn't have to rely on those expensive cloud services.
And the team itself, seasoned AI pros?
Nope.
No way.
Straight out of university.
Like fresh PhDs.
Yeah. Handpicked from the best schools in China.
So that's the secret weapon. No old ways of thinking.
Hungry to prove themselves.
You can see how that lead to.
Faster innovation, more agility.
Makes you wonder if the big companies are getting too comfy.
A little bit complacent, maybe?
Speaking of shaking things up,
Like an earthquake.
you know Mark Andreessen, that venture capitalist guy?
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
He's calling this a Sputnik moment.
Like back in 1957.
When the Soviets launched that satellite.
Kicked off the whole space race.
And he's saying DeepSeek is doing the same thing for AI.
It's a good comparison, I'd say.
Throws down the gauntlet.
To the whole world. Like, hey, this is the future. Keep up or get left behind.
So it's bigger than just one company or one AI, right?
Yeah, much bigger.
This is about global power shifting.
And China stepping up in a huge way.
Which is interesting, because usually China is all about...
Closed systems controlled information.
Yeah, but now they're leading the charge in open source AI.
Well, the US is putting up roadblocks with those chip bans.
It's like the tables have turned completely.
Crazy, right?
Makes you think those US sanctions might actually be fueling Chinese innovation.
Like that saying, necessity is the mother of invention.
Exactly. Cut off their access to resources,
Force them to get creative.
and bam, they come up with something totally new.
That shakes up the entire industry.
It's like they turned a weakness into a superpower.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's talk more about Liang Wufeng.
The mastermind.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's story is like something out of a movie.
Former stock market whiz kid builds an $8 billion AI-powered hedge fund, then ditches it all to tackle global problems with AI.
Seriously, what a legend. And what's fascinating is his team and their whole approach.
Yeah, they're not playing by the traditional rules.
Liang comes from finance, so he's all about efficiency and maximizing returns.
And instead of hiring those big-name AI veterans,
He goes for young, hungry PhD grads right out of China's top universities.
they're not afraid to take risks and think outside the box.
That fresh perspective, combined with their focus on solving problems with minimal resources, is giving them a real edge.
It's a winning combination for sure.
Speaking of thinking outside the box, let's talk about DeepSeek's development timeline.
Oh yeah, they've been moving at warp speed.
November 2023, they released DeepSeek code.
Their first dip into the open source AI pool.
Just testing the waters.
A little taste of what's to come.
And then boom. May 2024, they dropped DeepSeek V2.
With that crazy pricing model. 30 cents per million tokens.
Practically giving it away.
A total game changer.
The industry was like, what just happened?
They were undercutting everyone, making AI accessible to everyone.
And they didn't stop there. December 2024, DeepSeek V3 hits the scene.
And it's already going toe-to-toe with the big boys like GPT-4 and Claude 3.5.
All while using a fraction of the resources that companies like Meta poured into their Llama 3.1 model.
Talk about efficiency, they're innovating at lightning speed.
And then January 2025, DeepSeek R1 bursts onto the scene.
Specializing in math and logic.
And shoots straight to the top of the charts in Apple's App Store.
It's like watching a rocket take off.
In just 14 months, this young team accomplished what took established AI companies years and billions of dollars to develop.
It makes you wonder, are these big companies getting too comfortable? Are their massive budgets and sprawling infrastructures actually slowing them down?
It's a valid question. DeepSeek's rapid rise is a wake-up call for the whole industry.
They're proving that you don't need billions of dollars and an army of engineers to innovate in AI.
So we have this new player shaking things up, but how do they actually stack up against the established AI giants?
Well, think of it like a high-stakes football match. Each AI model brings its own strengths to the field.
I like where this is going.
You've got GPT-4, the creative all-rounder, agile and adaptable, capable of generating different creative text formats, like a messy weaving through defenders.
Okay, and then you have Claude 3.5, known for its analytical prowess and precision, more like Ronaldo, a master of strategy and execution.
Exactly. And then there's Meta's Llama 3.1, the open source playmaker, designed for collaboration, enabling developers to work together and build upon its capabilities.
And where does DeepSeek R1 fit into this lineup?
DeepSeek R1 is the game-changing newcomer, incredibly cost-effective, and surprisingly high-performing, especially in areas like math and logic.
So we have a diverse set of players on the field, each with their own strengths and strategies. What does this mean for the established giants like Microsoft, Google, and Nvidia? Can they adapt to this rapidly changing landscape?
The implications are significant. Microsoft, with its heavy investment in OpenAI, and GPT-4 now faces a direct challenge. Google, with its vast resources and AI expertise, will need to innovate quickly to maintain its edge.
And what about Nvidia, the leading provider of AI chips?
Nvidia's dominance in the hardware market might be challenged, as DeepSeek has demonstrated that high performance can be achieved without relying solely on their chips.
It seems DeepSeek is really turning the industry on its head. But let's dive into what I think is the most intriguing aspect of DeepSeek, its open source nature. This is where things get really interesting. Remember, DeepSeek isn't just a cloud-based AI assistant like ChatGPT. It can actually run locally on your devices.
This is a game changer in terms of accessibility and control. Imagine having the power of AI without needing constant internet access.
That opens up a world of possibilities, especially for people in areas with limited internet connectivity.
Exactly. It also has the potential to address concerns about privacy and security. You're no longer sending your data to some giant tech company's servers. You have the AI right there on your device.
It's like having your own personal AI brain working for you, without the need for Big Brother watching over your shoulder. Could this open source approach force even the biggest tech companies to rethink their closed-off proprietary models?
It's certainly a possibility DeepSeek's success could create a tipping point where open source AI becomes the dominant model. This would be a major shift, potentially forcing companies to prioritize transparency and collaboration.
It would empower developers around the world to build upon and improve DeepSeek's technology, leading to even more innovative solutions.
Precisely. We could see a surge in AI applications tailored to specific needs and communities, driving advancements in areas like healthcare, education, and scientific research.
It's an exciting prospect. But let's be realistic. Not everyone is on board the DeepSeek hype train. There are some serious concerns and controversies swirling around this company and its technology.
Yes, it's important to approach this with a critical eye. There are legitimate questions about the origins of DeepSeek's technology and the potential for hidden agendas.
Let's start with the performance concerns. Some critics are saying DeepSeek R1, while impressive in benchmarks, isn't as smooth or reliable as other leading models in real-world applications.
It's true that benchmark scores don't always tell the whole story. Real-world performance can be influenced by various factors, including specific tasks, user interfaces, and integration with different systems. It's still early days for DeepSeek, and more extensive user feedback and independent testing are needed to assess its true capabilities.
And then there are the concerns about plagiarism. There are reports that DeepSeek R1, when prompted, actually identifies itself as ChatGPT. Could they have trained their model on ChatGPT's responses without proper attribution?
That's a serious accusation that requires further investigation. If true, it raises questions about intellectual property and ethical development practices. However, we also need to consider the possibility that given the massive amount of data used to train these models, DeepSeek's AI might have independently arrived at similar responses or patterns as ChatGPT.
That's a fair point. It's important to gather all the facts before jumping to conclusions. And of course, we can't ignore the security and privacy concerns. We are talking about a Chinese company here. What kind of access does the Chinese government potentially have to DeepSeek's technology and the data it collects?
It's a legitimate concern, especially given the geopolitical context and China's stance on data privacy. While DeepSeek emphasizes the offline capabilities of its model, questions remain about potential backdoors or vulnerabilities that could compromise user data.
It's something users need to be aware of. And then there's the question of DeepSeek's unbelievably low development costs, $6 million to build an AI that rivals the best in the world. It seems almost too good to be true.
It's certainly remarkable. While DeepSeek's efficient approach is impressive, it's natural to wonder if there's undisclosed financial backing or strategic motivations at play.
Could there be hidden investors or government subsidies we don't know about?
It's a possibility. More transparency about their funding and operational model would help address these concerns.
And finally, there's the elephant in the room, the potential for political motivations. Is this a soft power play by China? Are they using DeepSeek as a propaganda tool to showcase their technological prowess and challenge Western dominance in AI?
It's impossible to ignore the geopolitical implications of DeepSeek's emergence. China has made no secret of its ambitions to become a global leader in AI, and DeepSeek's success certainly serves that narrative. However, it's important to avoid jumping to conclusions and engage in nuanced analysis, rather than succumbing to fear-mongering or simplistic explanations.
So we're left with more questions than answers.
And that's where you, the listener, come in. It's time to engage your critical thinking skills. Don't just accept the hype or the skepticism at face value. Do your own research, explore the technology, and form your own informed opinions.
We've laid out the facts, the possibilities, and the concerns. Now it's up to you to decide what to make of it all.
It's true. DeepSeek's success is definitely a wake-up call for the industry. They're showing that you don't need a billion-dollar budget and a huge team to make waves in AI.
It's pretty inspiring, actually. So we've got this new player shaking things up. But how do they actually stack up against the big names, the established AI giants?
Well, think of it like a football match, a real high-stakes game. Each AI model brings its own strengths to the field.
I like this analogy.
So you've got GPT-4, the creative all-rounder, agile, adaptable, capable of generating different kinds of creative text formats, like messy weaving through defenders.
Okay, I see it. And then there's Claude 3.5, known for being super analytical and precise.
Exactly. More like Ronaldo, a master of strategy and execution.
Love it. Okay, so we've got Messi and Ronaldo on the field. What else?
Well, then there's Meta's Llama 3.1. That's the open source playmaker, designed for collaboration so developers can work together and build upon it.
The team player.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you've got DeepSeek R1, the newcomer.
The underdog.
Yeah, but a powerful one, incredibly cost-effective, and surprisingly high-performing, especially when it comes to math and logic.
Oh, yeah. I've heard that's where it really shines. And we can't forget about Alibaba's Qwen 2.5.
Right. That's the regional powerhouse, really dominating the Chinese market.
So we've got a whole lineup of stars here, each with their own unique skills and strategies. What does this mean for the established giants like Microsoft, Google, and even Nvidia? Can they keep up in this fast-paced world?
It's a tough question. The implications are huge. Microsoft, for example, they've invested heavily in OpenAI and GPT-4.
Yeah, they're all in on that one.
Now they're facing some serious competition.
And what about Google? They've got all those resources and AI expertise.
They will need to innovate quickly if they want to stay ahead of the curve.
It's like a race to the top. And Nvidia, they're the kings of AI chips.
Well, DeepSeek is proving that you don't need to rely solely on Nvidia's chips to achieve high performance.
So even their dominance could be challenged.
Absolutely. This is a game changer.
DeepSeek is really turning the industry upside down. But let's talk about what I think is the most fascinating part of all this.
What's that?
It's open source nature.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
I mean, think about it. DeepSeek isn't just stuck in the cloud like ChatGPT.
Nope.
It can run locally on your devices.
Your phone, your laptop.
Exactly. This is a whole new level of accessibility and control.
Imagine having all that AI power without needing to be constantly connected to the internet.
It'd be a game changer for people in areas with limited internet access.
Absolutely. And it could also help address those concerns about privacy and security.
Right. You're not sending your data to some big tech company's servers anymore.
It's all right there on your own device.
It's like having your own personal AI assistant working just for you. No need to worry about Big Brother looking over your shoulder.
That's a powerful idea.
Do you think this could force even the biggest tech companies to reconsider their whole approach to AI? Their closed-off proprietary models.
It's definitely possible. DeepSeek's success could be the tipping point that makes open source AI the dominant model.
Wow, that would be a major shift.
It would force companies to be more transparent and collaborative,
And it would empower developers all over the world to build on DeepSeek's technology.
leading to even more innovation and creative solutions.
We could see a whole explosion of AI applications tailored to specific needs and communities.
Driving progress in healthcare, education, scientific research, you name it.
It's an exciting thought, but let's be real here. Not everyone is convinced that DeepSeek is the next big thing.
Right. There are definitely some concerns and controversies floating around.
People are skeptical.
And rightfully so. We need to approach this with a critical eye.
There are legitimate questions about where DeepSeek's technology came from.
And whether there are any hidden agendas at play.
Some critics say that DeepSeek R1, while it looks good in benchmarks, isn't quite as smooth or reliable as other AI models when you actually use it.
Yeah, benchmark scores don't always tell the whole story. Real-world performance can be affected by a lot of different factors.
Like what kinds of tasks you're doing, the user interface, how well it integrates with other systems.
Exactly. It's still early days for DeepSeek.
We need more feedback from users and more independent testing to really see what it can do.
Agreed. And then there's the whole plagiarism issue.
Oh yeah, some reports say that DeepSeek R1 actually identifies itself as ChatGPT when you ask it.
That's a pretty serious accusation.
Could they have trained their model on ChatGPT's data without giving proper credit?
That's what some people are worried about. If it's true, it raises some big questions about intellectual property and ethical development practices.
It's not a good look.
But we also have to consider that these AI models are trained on massive amounts of data. It's possible that DeepSeek's AI might have come up with similar responses or patterns to ChatGPT just by chance.
That's a good point. We need to gather all the facts before we jump to any conclusions.
Absolutely. And of course, we can't ignore the security and privacy concerns.
Especially since we're talking about a Chinese company.
Right. What kind of access does the Chinese government potentially have to DeepSeek's technology and the data it collects?
That's a valid question, especially given China's stance on data privacy.
Even though DeepSeek emphasizes that its model can work offline.
There are still concerns about potential backdoors or vulnerabilities.
That could compromise user data.
It's something everyone needs to be aware of.
Definitely. And then there's the question of their incredibly low development costs.
$6 million to build an AI that can compete with the best in the world.
It does seem almost too good to be true.
While their efficient approach is impressive,
You have to wonder if there's more to the story.
could there be hidden investors or government subsidies we don't know about?
It's possible. More transparency about their funding and how they operate would definitely help address these concerns.
Transparency is key. And finally, let's address the elephant in the room.
The political motivations.
Exactly. Is this a soft power play by China?
Are they using DeepSeek to show off their tech muscle and challenge the West's dominance in AI?
It's a valid question.
We can't ignore the geopolitical implications of DeepSeek's emergence. China has been very open about wanting to become a global leader in AI, and DeepSeek's success definitely plays into that.
But it's important to avoid jumping to conclusions.
We need to look at this from all angles and not just give in to fear-mongering or simplistic explanations.
Nuance is key. So basically, we have more questions than answers right now.
That's right, and that's where you, the listener, come in.
It's time to put on your thinking caps.
Don't just accept the hype or the skepticism at face value. Do your own research. Explore the technology.
And form your own informed opinions.
We've laid out the facts, the possibilities, the concerns. Now it's up to you to decide what to make of it all.
It's crazy to think just a few years back, the whole idea of an AI that could write code or compose music.
Or translate languages?
It all seemed like sci-fi stuff, right?
Totally.
But now, thanks to companies like DeepSeek,
It's becoming a reality.
for millions of people around the world.
And DeepSeek's open source approach, that's got the potential to really change things
To make AI accessible to everyone.
like we've never seen before.
Imagine students in developing countries
Having access to personalized tutoring powered by AI
or small businesses being able to use AI tools.
to compete with the big guys.
The possibilities are kind of mind-blowing.
It could revolutionize entire industries, empower individuals, even speed up scientific discoveries.
It really feels like we're at a turning point.
The evolution of AI,
But with any new technology,
there are going to be challenges along with those opportunities.
we need to be smart about this.
Approach this new era with enthusiasm, but also a healthy dose of caution.
make sure AI is developed and used responsibly.
Absolutely.
So where do we go from here? What does the future hold for AI, and what's the big takeaway for our listeners today?
Well, the AI revolution, it's not just a Silicon Valley thing anymore.
It's global,
It's moving fast.
and it has the power to change everything.
The genie's out of the bottle.
There's no going back now.
We're all part of this story now.
And the choices we make today, they're going to determine the future of AI.
And how it impacts humanity.
It's a pretty big responsibility.
It is. So stay informed, stay engaged, and keep asking questions.
That's great advice. The future of AI is being written right now.
And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
So there you have it, folks. The AI shock of 2025. We've explored DeepSeek, their groundbreaking technology.
The potential benefits and the very real concerns.
The future of AI is uncertain.
But one thing's for sure.
It's going to be a wild ride.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and until next time, keep diving deep.